If you are not guilty of a crime, why would you throw away his clothes?
You mean to tell me a swimmer died from drowning?
An arrest affidavit states that Irving drowned. Roper and juvenile suspect threw Irving's clothes into the tree lines near the bridge above Lake Ray Hubbard. Police also learned 2 suspects fled the scene in Roper's vehicle.
As a mother, I knew something was wrong on day one.
The death of an 18-year-old who drowned in a lake 3 months ago is being called into question as 2 teens who were with him have been charged with evidence tampering.
And you might not have heard of Daniel Irving, an 18-year-old who allegedly drowned in Rolette, Texas back in April of this year. If you haven't, it's okay. It wasn't super public, but because of Nolan's case, it's starting to get a lot more attention. Daniel Irving was an 18-year-old who ended up going missing on April 13th of this year after 2 of his friends, Lucas Roper, a 19-year-old, and an unidentified kid, ended up going to Lake Ray Hubbard to hang out. Apparently at this lake, that's where the 3 of them jumped off of a bridge into the lake, and that's when Daniel allegedly drowned. But instead of alerting authorities, Lucas and this underage kid decided to flee the scene, take Daniel's clothes, throw them into nearby trees, delete messages from his phone, and then chuck that too. It wasn't until the family reported him missing that they were able to retrieve his body from Lake Ray Hubbard on April 17th, 4 days later. Lucas Roper, the 19-year-old, was eventually charged with tampering with physical evidence, but the family still has questions, and rightfully so.
Like, this shit is not oh my gosh. Like, it literally seems like every week there's some type of situation where it's a black person is missing, hanging from a tree, randomly found dead. Like, they're hunting us.
They're hunting us. I mean, those heartbreaking words came from a frustrated black woman after yet another case left black families demanding answers. Like, what exactly is happening? What wrong are black people doing? Now, many in the black community say they are exhausted. They're just fed up. They're tired, by stories of, black people whose friends were white disappear overnight and later they are found dead, or whose final moments remain, surrounded by unanswered questions. Like, what exactly is happening? But this, Daniel Irving's case is now fueling fresh outrage as people question the decisions made after, his reported drowning, and after why evidence was allegedly discarded instead of authorities being called immediately. I mean, what exactly happened? And why are so many people saying story simply doesn't add up? Like the math is not mathing. Now, in this video, brothers and sisters, we will examine the concerns being raised and hear what black voices are actually saying. What messages are they trying to deliver? And explore why so many people believe this case deserves, much closer scrutiny. Remember, we are still, waiting to hear what exactly happened to Nolan Wells. It's almost the same case. So stay with us until the end, because this video, will explore the concerns that are being raised, the questions that are being raised that still need answers. I wish you all the best. If this is your first time, please subscribe so we can have more of these discussions. Let's dive into this, and I'll see you somewhere at the end for more discussions.
Did y'all hear what happened to Daniel Irving? 2 white boys picked up 18-year-old Daniel Irving to go swimming and fishing, and they came back from the trip, and Daniel didn't. A couple of days later, they admitted he drowned, and they got rid of his clothes and phone because they were scared. And y'all wonder why we say do not be the only black person in a group of white people, because they clearly do not have your best interests at heart. They didn't try to help him from drowning. They didn't try to go and get help so that somebody else could help him from drowning. They didn't even report that he drowned. They tried to cover it up to cover their asses when they could have just tried to help him. Like, why is it so fucking hard to help him? If you call him your friend, oh, we're gonna go fishing with my friend, then treat him like a fucking friend. Y'all treated him like a fucking animal. And then the story about him drowning doesn't even make sense because he was on the swim team. He was known to be a strong swimmer. So these white boys probably did something to him that made him drown, because him just getting in the water, falling in the water and drowning doesn't make sense because he knows how to fucking swim. And then one of the boys took his phone and deleted the messages they had between each other. So he got arrested for tampering with evidence. So that just makes me think, why the fuck ain't nobody been arrested for Nolan Wells' case for tampering with evidence? Both of these cases need national attention. So make sure y'all share this video and get the word out about what happened with Daniel Irving. This happened in Dallas, Texas. And these 2 cases are just the tip of the iceberg. There's so many other cases that are just like this. So we need to be talking about all of them. because it's clearly not just an isolated incident. It's a big problem.
Daniel Irving was an honor roll student. He was a member of his swim team. He was a strong, healthy, young athlete. For these two suspects to say he drowned and they left, it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. Something smells off to us. If it's an accident, why hide the clothes? Why flee the scene? Why toss Daniel Irving's cell phone out the car? Better yet, why do you have Daniel Irving's cell phone? Why go home and delete every text message, every communication? If you have nothing to hide and it's an accident, why delete the evidence? Why delete the text? Those are the answers we demand.
I really feel like they're trying to make us riot at this point. Like, they're like hunting us. Because why am I just finding out today about another 18-year-old boy that was found dead in water after he went with his friends, and mind you, he was on the swim team, but he apparently drowned. But the two people that he was with, they fled the scene after he drowned, and they threw away his clothes, they threw away his phone, and then when they got home, they deleted all their messages with him in their phone. But they're saying that it was just an accident, he just drowned. But when he was drowning, they fled the scene, they didn't call for help. Like, this shit is not oh my gosh. Like, it literally seems like every week there's some type of situation where it's a Black person is missing, hanging from a tree, randomly found dead. Like, they're hunting us. I don't even know what to say. Like, I don't even know what to say because I'm sorry doesn't do anything. Like, what is going on?
Let's discuss the Daniel Irving case, man. So on April the 13th, 2026, 18-year-old Daniel Irving, a senior at Sash High School in the Dallas area, left home with Lucas Roper and a 17-year-old juvenile to go fishing and swimming at Lake Ray Hubbard. Investigators say that the three jumped from a railroad bridge into the lake and Daniel drowned. His body was recovered 4 days later on April 17th. And on July 9th, Dallas police arrested Lucas Roper and charged the juvenile with tampering with physical evidence. According to the arrest affidavit, investigators allege that after Daniel drowned, they did not immediately report the incident. Daniel's clothes were thrown into a tree line near the bridge. Daniel's cell phone was thrown from a vehicle. Lucas Roper deleted text messages and other communications between himself and Daniel because he knew that there would be an investigation and he didn't want to get in trouble. And listen, I mean, if you didn't do anything, what's wrong with calling the cops and reporting what happened? The Dallas County Medical Examiner ruled Daniel's death an accidental drowning. Police have said that determination came after their investigation with the medical examiners. Now, Daniel's family does not believe all of the questions have been answered, and they point to several issues. Daniel was an honor roll student and a member of his school swimming team, leading to question how the events unfolded. So, I mean, you mean to tell me a swimmer died from drowning? Listen, I didn't heard it all. They asked why anyone would throw away his belongings, delete messages, and leave the scene if it was simply an accident. Their attorneys are calling for a more extensive investigation and have asked prosecutors to consider whether additional charges are warranted. Lucas Roper has been charged only with tampering with physical evidence. The 17-year-old juvenile faces the same charges. No one has been charged with the causing death of Daniel Irving. The investigation remains active, so additional evidence or charges are still possible, but none have been announced yet. Lucas has since been released on a $10,000 bond. Sheesh.
You guys, we have another situation that took place in Texas. A teenage boy, honor roll student. I don't know what's going on. You guys are taking I guess our smartest or whatnot. I don't know, but he was an honor roll student and he drowned. Not for sure if he went to go swimming or they went to go hang out, whatever it is. The two white boys came home. He did not. They alleged tampered with evidence. They did get arrested for that. Even the mother is protesting in Oregon saying she wants them to be arrested. They're claiming that they were scared, so they did delete stuff off their phone, and I guess they moved things. I don't know why they would do that if someone accidentally drowned. So You guys just tell me what you think was going on.
All right, Rick Speaks here with breaking news out of Dallas, Texas. On April 13th, 18-year-old Daniel Irving drowned at Lake Ray Hubbard while bridge jumping with friend Lucas Roper. An arrest affidavit states that Irving drowned. Roper and juvenile suspect threw Irving's clothes into the tree lines near the bridge above Lake Ray Hubbard. Police also learned 2 suspects fled the scene in Roper's vehicle. As they fled, the juvenile suspect threw Irving's phone out the vehicle. Well, all of this sounds very familiar. A review of the phone showed that text messages and phone calls shared between Roper and Irving from the day they went to the Lake Hubbard. A search of Roper's phone, per the affidavit, revealed that Roper deleted all the communication between him and Irving. Roper reportedly admitted that he was afraid of getting in trouble. Jail records obtained by CBS News Texas confirmed that Dallas Police Department arrested Lucas Roper on July 9th. He's charged with tampering with evidence tied to the death of 18-year-old Daniel Irving. Roper was granted a $10,000 bond. So if this was an accident, I don't know why you had to hide all the messages and then try to discard of the clothes and then not mention that your friend passed away. Upon the death of Nolan Xavier Wells, this story sounds extremely familiar. What's your thoughts about this? Like, comment, repost, share for more.
Imagine losing your child and then finding out that the people he was with are the ones who allegedly tried to actually hide what happened. And no, I'm not talking about Nolan Wells. This is a completely different story. That's exactly what is happening right now with another family, and they are seeking justice right now as we speak. Months after 18-year-old Daniel Irving drowned in a Texas lake, 2 teenagers have now been arrested, but not for causing his demise. Investigators say they are accused of actually tampering with evidence by allegedly getting rid of Daniel's belongings and deleting information from his phone instead of calling for help or even telling police everything they knew. Sound familiar? The medical examiner ruled Daniel's death an accidental drowning, but his family says these arrests only answer part of the story. His mother says she still believes there are unanswered questions and wants prosecutors to keep digging until they know exactly what happened during Daniel's final moments. Right now, the investigation is still ongoing, and many people are asking whether additional charges could ever be filed if new evidence ever comes to light. So what do you think? Should evidence tampering in a case like this lead investigators to take another look at everything that happened that day or not? Let me know your thoughts. Hit the like button down below. Comment, definitely comment. Hit that follow. More to come. Justice for Daniel.
In light of Nolan Wells' death, here's another case that deserves attention. This past April, 3 teenage boys jumped off a railroad bridge into Lake Ray Hubbard, just 15 miles east of Dallas. One of the teens, 18-year-old Daniel Irving, drowned. But here's the thing. When the other 2 teens, 19-year-old Lucas Roper and a 16-year-old unnamed minor, realized what was happening, they say they panicked and left, without calling 911, leaving their friend to die. Not only did they leave Daniel to die, they allegedly covered it up by throwing Daniel's clothes into a nearby tree, deleting all the text messages from his phone, and then throwing the phone out the car window as they drove off. Oh, and they drove off in Daniel's car. For the next 4 days, they didn't say a word. Daniel's parents ended up filing a missing persons report, and he was eventually found dead 4 days later on April 17th. Daniel's parents were shocked to learn that Daniel's death was ruled an accidental drowning because not only was Daniel a good swimmer, he was on the school swim team. Despite everything police had learned, Daniel's death was ruled an accidental drowning. Last week, both Lucas Roper and the minor were arrested and charged with tampering with physical evidence. And as you can imagine, Daniel Irving's family is left absolutely crushed and begging for answers.
Yo, we have a crazy situation very similar to the Nolan Wells situation that just happened in Mississippi, right? This is Daniel Irving, an 18-year-old, and this happened in Raleigh, Texas around April 13th. And from my information I gathered, the individual just got charged, but he got charged with something lesser and his bond is $10,000. But nevertheless, Daniel Irving was invited to a fishing trip with 2 white boys, classmates, and so-called friends of his, right? This is Lucas Roper. Lucas Roper is the only one I could have actually find a picture of because he's 18 years old, right? And this individual decided to go to Daniel Irving's house, pick him up. They went either to a pier or a bridge or something. They was around water, right? Nevertheless, what he's charged for is taking his phone and throwing it in a tree line, like trying to throw away the evidence, basically. They went wherever they went on this water, and guess what? The only black kid was the only one who came up missing and unalive. Once again, the parents tracked down Daniel Irving's phone. This was not another situation where somebody gave them the phone. No, this just like Nolan Wells, the family had to track down the phone. And he was an avid swimmer, so him drowning was not, it wasn't an excuse that the family was just gonna go with easy. Now he has been arrested and charged with tampering with evidence and something else. But basically, he only got a $10,000 bond. Stop raising your kids to think that white kids are their friends. White kids have always been the biggest enemies of black kids, point blank, period. What you see black kids and white kids do is not what you see black kids do with all the other kids. They fight all the other kids. But these people, this mayonnaise community, anytime you go in the woods or go around water with them, it's a high possibility that something like this is going to happen. Now, this is nothing to do with Nolan Wells. This is Daniel Irving of Raleigh, Texas. They found him in a Ray Hubbard Lake days and days later. You feel what I'm saying? They pretty much was trying to sweep this under the rug. You dig what I'm saying? This is another case, Daniel Irving, like the Nolan Wells situation. This happened on April the 13th of 2026. This is crazy. Y'all got to keep an eye on stuff like this because this is happening and they're not putting it on the news. And this is why content creation and content creators are so important. We got to get the word out there.
Welcome back, brothers and sisters. Now, let's talk about it. But I think before we break down the main concerns black people are raising, the questions, the themes discussed in this video, I think let's go back to that statement that has echoed throughout this entire conversation, like they are hunting us. I mean, that black woman said they are hunting us. There is no way she can say that out of nowhere. It means she has tried to connect the dots, still she can't find the answers. What exactly is happening? That every single day you wake up and you hear stories of black people dead somewhere, black people missing, black people this, black people that. That's why she had to conclude they are hunting us. I mean, that is not an official finding, but it is an emotional reaction of people who feel exhausted after seeing case after case. They believe that, those cases share the troubling similarities. Like what happened to Nolan Wells is the same almost like what happened to Daniel Irving, especially after their deaths, look like they're the same. They all had white friends. They all went somewhere and only white people came back. The black people didn't come. So I think that's exactly why emotions are running high, because many people feel like they are watching the same story play out again and again. Like there's something which is happening that black community doesn't really know. But people are connecting dots. They remember stories of black, people found dead, hanging from trees, disappearing without clear answers, or dying under circumstances that their families continue to question. Like, why is this the case? How can, somebody just die after hanging out with these people? Now they're asking the same question. Why do these stories keep happening? Why do these stories look similar? And why do so many families walk away feeling that the important questions remain unanswered? What exactly is happening? So whether you agree with the, every conclusion these people are trying to draw or you don't, but I think these conversations are happening. Okay, they are worth discussing. Many people believe they deserve to be heard rather than ignored. Yeah, people deserve answers. If the answers are not coming, don't give up. You need to ask for more questions, because if you don't get the answers for today's case, it can make tomorrow's case come again. But the questions you ask today and the answers that are demanded today, if there are people who are orchestrating this thing, tomorrow they may avoid, because they'll be like, oh, black people, whenever this thing happens, black people don't become silent. So anyway, brothers and sisters, let's try to break down the biggest concerns, the 5 strongest messages black people are trying to raise in this video. Number 1, let's talk about the issue of transparency. What exactly is happening? You see, in the video, many people believe that when evidence is allegedly discarded, dismissed, or like ignored, phones like thrown away, messages deleted, and authorities are not, contacted immediately, it naturally, creates far more questions than answers. People easily connect the dot, like, what exactly is happening? Okay, what exactly is happening? And people argue that what happens after an incident can have, a huge impact on public trust, even when investigators have already reached an official conclusion. Even if police can say, oh, it's not what you black people think, but people will continue having, questions. People will continue try to connect the dots for themselves, like finding the answers for themselves, regardless of what the investigators have found. Number 2 is unanswered questions. Now, this Daniel Irving's family has continued expressed some sort of, doubts. Well, many people online have compared his case with the Nolan Wells, the one I was talking about. Now, those comparisons do not prove the cases are connected. Maybe we may put it that way, but they do explain why many people are asking investigators to keep examining every available piece of evidence until there are no major questions left unanswered. So it makes sense when people are trying to look at the 2 different stories and try to connect the dots. Like, this guy had white friends. This guy had white friends. They all went somewhere, like at the certain river. Okay, they went fishing, others went swimming. But, the results are the same. The black person is not coming back. Even this other group, the black person is not coming back. Even in the case of Nolan Wells, it is believed, not believed as such, but it was found that the mother of these white people deleted their social media accounts. Okay, even the case of this, this Daniel. I mean, people are trying to connect the dots. Number 3 is about accountability. Now, in the video, many voices say, if someone is truly your friend, like you take them as your dude, your friend, your first instinct should be to call for help, contact emergency services, and at least fully cooperate with investigators, if at least you have also tried yourself to save them. But they also argue fear of getting into trouble should never come before trying to save a life. I mean, what exactly is happening? Or helping a grieving family understand what really happened. This was supposed to be happening. This was supposed to be done. You need to help people investigate, because you are the only person who can give the best evidence everyone can believe. Why? You are the person who was with that person who is dead. You are the person who was at the last moment that person was, was alive. Because, so you are the person who can help. But look, you are deleting. You're taking their clothes, you are throwing them away, and you are running away. What exactly is happening? Number 4 is about awareness. Now let's talk about it. Another message is throughout the video, spreading throughout the black community, is the importance of having honest conversations about personal safety, looking out for one another as black people, and making wise decisions whenever young people are around water, traveling, or spending time with any other group of people, whether white people, Asians. As long as this is a black person, he's found among a group of people who are not black, there is a red flag. There's need to be careful. Okay, some people have been warning this, that how do you keep hanging with the white people and you are the only black person? The idea is, it's not wrong to hang out with white people. It's not wrong. It's okay. But if you are the only black person, why are you the only black person? Why? If you can be 5 black people, 5 white people, maybe. But you're the only white person. Why? I mean, their message is simple. Every young person deserves to leave home and safely return home alive. That's it. Number 5, justice and answers. Let's talk about it. Now, I think perhaps this is like the loudest message of all. It's just that the families deserve complete and the thorough and the transparent investigations. Whether somebody believes the official findings or still have unanswered questions after the investigators have come up with the the full report, or simply want more information. But I think most people agree that every family deserves clear answers, full answers, because uncertainty can leave wounds that never truly heal. So yeah, I think that's the conversation that we need to have every single day. Strong emotions, strong, questions, difficult questions, active investigation, they are all needed so people can have their questions at least answered. But now, brothers and sisters, what exactly do you think? Like, do you believe these are still important questions that need to be answered? Or do you think these investigators, have to take this thing the way they want, regardless of what black people are looking for? What exactly is happening? So anyway, share your thoughts respectively in the comments below. Let's have a thought-out discussion. And as always, if this is your first time, please subscribe. Don't forget to like the video if you found some value. We need to keep updating one another. We need to keep, informing one another whenever something happens. Remember, it's always good to tell one another whenever something happens so that, people can keep avoiding. There are more messages in this video. If people can listen to them, like, why would you be happy to hang out with white people and you're the only black person? If that advice, parents can take it seriously and advise their black kids. If this advice, the black kids can take them seriously, we cannot have some of these cases happening again and again, and they look similar, like the case of Nolan Wells and the case of, this guy, Daniel. Otherwise, see you next time, and I'm proud of you.